Hey mate, did you hear about that rumour about beer karma?
Beer karma?
You drink one of these and a Victorian cops one.
Oh, really?
They did claim to invent the footy.
That's good.
Welcome Rooters and welcome to Grassroots Online, week 14, live and direct from the Mitchell Park Football Club. Of course, by now, it should say on the screen that I'm your host, Tommy Javor, with my co-host, the footy chick, Lisa. Right.
That is me, thank you very much. And here we are again, and a bit of a funny week of football, a lot of close games, but you know, a lot of flyouts as well. The scores probably sort of don't reflect in some games what time of day it was for football.
Would you say it was an interesting dichotomy of results? Oh, yes, I've worked it in again.
Word of the day.
That's it, I'm done with my big words now, so yeah.
Alright, well let's get into it. We've got heaps to talk about. In Division 1, there were, as we said, lots of close games.
Well, you know what, Lise, because we're at Mitchell Park in Division 7, why don't we start at Division 7?
Let's do that.
Because if nothing else, I'm flexible. Much like Nadia Comaneci.
Anyway.
With the Olympics coming up.
Oh, that Olympics shit,
yes.
Right. Okay, very good. Alright, well, first of all, let's congratulate Flinders Uni, who kicked 10-2 on the weekend.
Yep, and not to extract a year on from Flinders Uni, but they're a team that's battling and they're sticking together and they're playing some decent football. They're kicking 10 goals.
Absolutely. So, I mean, look, it's irrelevant, I guess, at this point that we're talking about that they were still beaten by over 100 points by the Owls on the weekend, but proof that the Crabs never give up. Or could it just shine a bit of light on the fact that there's a bit of deficiency in the Owls' defence?
Well, where was it played, do we know?
Not sure at this point, sorry.
Good one for doing another question without notice, solid.
Yeah, good one.
Well, I'd just suggest that maybe they had some of their players found some form, long and direct football.
What was that, 13?
Yes.
Flinders Uni. No, was it Flinders Uni?
Yep, so there you go. So, you know, perhaps a home ground advantage. Hopefully they're getting a few supporters out there, so well done to the Crabs.
Yeah, absolutely. And Mitchell Park, where we are tonight, of course, had a bit of a scare, only beating their opponent in Tea Tree Gully by 23 points on the weekend. Now, Tom, here's my West End stat for the week.
Okay.
Now, their last encounter back in round 4 was a 21-point win, and their weekend score of 12-9 is actually their lowest score of the season. Their second lowest score was 15-7, and that was also against Tea Tree Gully.
Fantastic, that's pretty nice stats work there, and interesting to note, obviously we're going to be touching base with many people at Flinders Park, including the great Wayne Wild coach, but he did say as well, Tea Tree Gully, we're missing Ben Noski,
yep.
Of course, former Div 1 All-Star State Team rep. Shawnee Chambers didn't play, of course the man who kicked 12 that Anzac Day against Broadies, and Verda, the other bloke with the big choco name, he didn't play either. So yeah, they do respect Tea Tree Gully, and he's a great rivalry building up.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you look at it that way as well, the McDonald brothers kicked 9 goals between them. One kicked 4, one kicked 5. Had they both not played, they would have actually lost by.
Quite possibly, at least someone else could have stayed up. But just
well, they could have.
As you've mentioned it, I won't use the word segue. But speaking of Luke and Nate tonight, of course, we will feature the great Luke and Nate debate. Which McDonald is better?
Will it be a... No, I'm not going to say.
No, it won't be a big debate, a massive one.
Right.
Oh, Lisa. Well, edgy comedy, I think I do that.
Okay,
I'll tell you what division was very interesting this week. Probably a lot of interesting things happening in Division 6.
Yeah. Ingle Farm proved my theory yet again that this division is like a box of chocolates by scoring a close win over the Units over the weekend. And you might want to have a bit of a chat about that. You might have spoken to Dutchie.
I didn't speak to Dutchie.
No, you didn't speak to Dutchie.
Myself, but...
he wasn't too happy about it, let's put it that way.
No, but he basically missed a massive opportunity because he would have probably thought Woody South were going to take care of Trinity and they would have expected to beat Ingle Farm, and that loss has allowed Trinity to go ahead of Central United, and they dropped down all the way down to 7th.
Yeah. 2
games outside the 5, so they would have been seething down at the... down at Mofflin Reserve.
Absolutely, and Colonel Light Gardens, Moorlines also on a roll at the moment. They've won 5 on the trot now.
Yes, not long after we visited them, and so they're doing really well, Zwecky and the boys. So
good for some clubs, bad for others.
Yes, and great to see the Riddler get his boys back on board. 11 goals, 20, probably not good kicking against Houghton District's 5 straight goals. Keeping them in the 5 and a game clear of Trinity.
Yeah, that is, well, I mean, you know, the bottom side. Oh, a win's a win. Congratulations, Jack.
a bottom side that has won 2 games though, so not the worst bottom side going around the league.
Certainly not. No, absolutely not.
That'd probably go to the Division 5 team in Rosewater.
Well, yes, but we're not going to discuss that at this point. I want to talk about North Haven.
In Division 5?
In Division 5. North Haven has slipped behind the 8 ball a bit, going down to Kenilworth, again by 9 points, so fantastic
We got
game.
the Cookanaut up and over hell.
Not so good game. Cookanaut is there again. Very slow start to the year, the Havens, and looked to come good at some stage there, but now they're a game out of the 5, sitting in 7th place, and with their run home, that could go either way in terms of where they finish.
Certainly could do. It's a very interesting division, isn't it? Division 5. It's but still looking dangerous. North Haven in 7th spot at 6 and 7.
Yeah, well, as I said, we'll see how we go. But yeah, they've. I was sort of doing the sums before, and they could possibly easily expect to win 2 of the games, maybe 3. The other ones they're really going to be fighting for.
Yep, certainly.
Yep.
So good to see your love child Blake Moser kicking 4 for Kenilworth, leading them. He's a bit of a barometer, isn't he? When he plays well,
yeah.
Kenilworth are good.
Yeah, absolutely. Now in Division 4, Plimpton are also avoiding the bottom 2 rungs, staving off Greenacres by 5 points. Bit of a bogey side. Plimpton are for Greenacres. They've won both encounters against them this year. And they play Elizabeth this week, so a win here will almost ensure that they actually stay in Division 4 next year.
Which isn't bad for the shocking start to the year that they had. And obviously if they beat Elizabeth will stay on 3 wins, and you think that might be enough.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Good to see the Hounds finally turn around the last 2 months of agony as well and have a win over Para Hills.
Absolutely, that's it. So, where are we? Oh, we've done Division 4. Division 3, well, just before we go to Division 3, let's take a look at some footage from Athelston versus Salisbury. Salisbury had a much-needed 10-point win over the Raggies, which keeps them in the hunt for the 5. And out of all the sides vying for the top 5 spots, and I think there's, 6 of them or 7 of them.
Salisbury have announced themselves as a potential candidate, you think?
Well, look, they certainly have, but they've also got the toughest run home. Now, in their last 5 matches, they've got Kilburn, Mitcham, Smosh, Seaton and CBC.
Yes.
So, I guess they've proven a point here by beating the team that was 3rd at the time. But, yeah, as I said, they're really going to have to prove themselves a lot more in order to take that 5th spot.
Well, they've got actually a bit of score on the board against Kilburn. Last time Kilburn lost, which was 9 weeks ago, it was against Salisbury by 35 points. So they have done it once this year. Can they head to Dale Aegis as Blair Athol Reserve, though, and take the chocolates from a red-hot Kilburn?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's all I had from Division 3, unless you had anything else.
No, I do not have anything else from Division 3. We're going to leave Division 3 alone. I'm going to whistle Dixie on Division 3.
Okay.
Nothing to say about it.
In Division 2, no real wins of note. I think everything was probably as everyone expected, but just the scores, and this is what I was talking about before, the scores in the PAC versus Iggy's game actually caught my attention. Now, I'm not sure, they either must have been playing under a storm cloud in a mud pit all day, or they've put in the half-time scores. But it says there that the actual score was 4-3 to 2-5 PAC way at the end. Yep,
and their bees, the old Iggy's bees, didn't do much better, kicking 1 goal 3. But we don't talk about B grade much, Lise, but how about the score, an even lower score in the Div 2 reserves? Port District's 1 goal 10, got the chocolates over Modbury, 1 goal 4.
That would have been played at Modbury.
Yes, in the heavy conditions of Modbury. Would have spent some time in the mudslide there, you think. So,
absolutely.
Just not to try and prove you wrong, Lisa, but there was one upset, I thought. I mean, remember, it was Portland's first loss, I think, in round 5. They were 4-0. To Adelaide Junior, they lost by 91 points, was it?
They did get a small thrashing that day, yeah.
115-point turnaround for them to get the chocolates, 13-4-92 to 10 goals, 8-68. And a bit of a rivalry building up between these two teams. If they play each other in finals, there'll be a lot of cameras out at the ground, I'm sure. Very interesting viewing, and yes... well, that's all we'll say about that one, I think.
No, well, look, as I said, Portland, it's no secret that Portland have had quite a few injuries over the duration of the season. They're now getting some of those injuries back, with the exception of Jared Waring, who's got the world's longest hamstring. So that's why that probably didn't surprise me as much.
I mean, their percentage is a true reflection of the fact they are a battling team and an even spread, but they win the close ones, only 48%, but 8 and 5.
And that comes obviously from the those first sort of 4 games where they either won or lost by less than a kick. So,
but there's not beyond the realms of possibility. An elimination final could be certainly an opportunity for Steamboat and the boys, and Nord of 84, among many other teams, have won grand finals, especially in amateur league, have won grand finals. Kilburn, of course, last year.
Yep.
It can happen. And Steamboat Pierce just doing tremendous things down at Port.
Absolutely. So, which takes us to the end, or the beginning, if you will, which is
the Greyhound Racing.
The Greyhound Racing SA Division 1, where 3 games decided by less than 6 points. And another West End stat, if I may. Both losing sides, with the other 2 games, both losing sides kicked 52 points.
I'm not sure what you mean.
So 3 games were decided now.
The total losing margins of the 5 games is 52 points.
No. Look, see, okay. So Jets Cross beat Ross Trevor by 4 points. So that's less than 6 points.
Yep.
Now St Peter's beat Broadview by less than 6 points.
5 points.
5, yeah, that's what I said, less than 6. And then Henley defeated Gazer by 3 points. Okay, so that's less than 6 points. But these other 2 games, although they were not as close, but the losing sides both kicked 52 points.
Oh.
Do you see what I mean?
Yes, so that was important. I'm glad we worked our way through that one.
Right, but Jets are hitting the straps, trying to avoid their relegation woes now, and they had a good win over Rocks on the weekend.
Yeah, and I spoke to Greg Anderson on Saturday. It was great to speak to the great man with the super mullet. They're now 3-10, Foss Camden 3-10. These 2 teams play each other in the coming weeks. Not sure what round exactly. And speaking to young Antrobus, Tony Antrobus' son, I've been doing a bit of work with him. He's very disappointed the first time round against Foss. Felt like they could have got the chocolates but didn't. And Foss haven't done a lot since then, so that game is going to be a Division 1 stay alive battle, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyone else there for anything else?
Just a bit of mail. We talked about, look, at this stage we're trying to find that game where an upset might occur. Last week I said, just watch out for Broadies, the Tigers. I felt something. Well, they lost by 5 points. They actually had a shot for goal, a bit of a Carmichael Hunt situation for the win right at the end, and clearly someone kicked a point. We won't name who it was.
Oops.
Never mind. Unlucky there for Tom. Would have been a great way for Tommy Slicker to remember his 100th forever with a draw.
Yeah.
But Germany didn't draw the war, so bad luck, Tom Slicker. You lost again. Is that too edgy? Maybe.
Nah.
It's a West End stat of...
That's what we're all about.
Yeah.
Speaking of West End, we have our West End cans and these fantastic stubby holders that Mitchell Park have kindly donated. Java, we're getting quite a stubby holder collection, aren't we?
And on the back of the Mitchell Park stubby holder, it's got the song. And Lisa and I will now perform a duet of the song, Are We, Are We, Are We?
No.
Are we good? No, we good. Are we? Ooh, we will not. We'll just
No. Well, it's not too bad. It's not as bad as the PNU song.
Every week you have to whack them, don't you?
No. But in the song, they say that word. They drop an F-bomb.
At least we get the Club for You and Me bit right, don't we?
Thank you to Mitchell Park for donating these fantastic stubby holders. And look, as I said, even if you're drunk, you can still sing the song. There you go. But we drink responsibly at the South Australian Amateur Football League.
Of course we do.
That's all I have for segment 1.
That's it for me. I'm excited about getting into the great Luke and Nate debate, of seeing a high-flying marking competition, footy chicks crazy questions, and
have a chat to a genuinely good guy, Wayne Wild.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Let's go and do that.
All right, we'll be back after this, Reuters.
We will.
The Mitchell Park Footy Club to answer the ultimate question. It's the great Luke and Nate debate.
Nat, mate.
Nah, doesn't rhyme. All right, well, it's the question we want to know. I've heard for many years which one's better. Let's just introduce the boys.
Luke.
And clearly you're Nate.
Nat.
Nat. Nat. That. All right, who's older?
He's 2 minutes older.
2 minutes older, you learn a lot in 2 minutes, don't you, mate? Who's the better footballer?
Oh, that's pretty obvious, isn't it, mate? You know what I'm going to say.
Who's harder at it?
Who do you reckon, mate? The one who goes to training.
Fair enough, fair enough. Who had their cherry pop first?
I haven't had mine popped yet, mate.
Oh,
not the chocolate cherry, anyway.
Well, it's going to be entertaining in the theme of the Olympics. It could be a bit of argy-bargy, bit of byplay. So I've been hit by these two boys on a footy field before. Always a bit of fun, though. We're going to have a few events and we're going to see who really is the better McDonald. Stay tuned, Rooters. This is something you don't want to miss. Section 1, Event 1, goal kicking. First up, we've got the closest to the pin, closest to the centre of goals. Event 1, goal kicking, a McDonald boys speciality. First up, we've got Luke. Chocolate cherry. And that could be a no ball. Should Nat put it through from 50? If Nat puts it through from 50, he is the winner. Just this way, please, camera lady. Form's good. Balls are straight.
Just all I point out, that line's actually 70 metres.
Rightio.
Hey, 1-0.
And the score is Luke 1, Nat 0. We'll see you inside for event 2, arm wrestling. Here we are for event. Oh! Went a lot better in the practice run. The arm wrestle. Set, go!
Jesus, that hurt. How long we go?
Yeah, put him away, mate. Put him away when you're ready. Oh, it's Nat. It's Luke. It's Luke. It's Nat.
Oh, come on. Where's the support?
Oh! Which one have you hit me in the nose? Oh! After 2 events, it's 1-1. Now it's time for the smack talking competition, which we'll do away from the children. The scores are locked at 1-1 after a very physical round 2. I hope you got that on audio. Okay, now this one here is very simple. It's a smack talking competition. I'm going to give the boys 30 seconds each to talk as much smack as they can about each other. Now, there is one condition. If you swear, you are immediately disqualified. That is the rules, and I'm standing by it. Who wants to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay, first up, talking smack about Nat is Luke. Your 30 seconds start now.
Mum said you're adopted, you dickhead.
Disqualification! Point winner, Nat McDonald. The score is 2-1. We'll see you for quiz questions in just a sec, Rooters. And it's that time of the night. It's the last round of the great Luke and Nat debate. Doesn't rhyme, doesn't sound good. Yeah, it's currently 2-1. He just told us. Okay, so crucial here for the big fella to have a win. Okay, so fairly simple. You've got your buzzers there. Let's test them out.
Nat. Luke.
We spare no expense at Grassroots, thanks to the good people at West End. Okay, question 1. Who currently sits on top of the Division 7?
Luke. The mighty Mitchell Park Lions.
1-0. Okay, ready? Question 2. In Division 7, who do Modbury play this week?
Nat. Mitchell Park.
Correct. Score is 1-1. Wow, wait. Bit of a time for to toughen the questions up a bit.
Is the next one, who am I?
No one knows who I am, mate. That'd be a tough one. That'd be double points. Okay, next one. The Gaelic Football and Hurling Association of South Australia once kicked a team out for having too many reports and send-offs. What was the name of that team? Luke?
The Bad News Bears. From Mitchell Park.
Was. I liked them. Some people just get too precious about, stuff. Alright, score is 2-1. Next question. Who is the coach of Mitchell
Luke.
Park?
Wayne Wild.
Score is 3-1. You're in trouble, big fella. Who has kicked more goals this year? Luke or Nate?
Nat.
Nat.
Yeah, that's right. Nat.
3-2. If you can get this next one right, it's all over for you, my friend. Name the 3 colours of...
Luke. Same as the Christmas colours, red, white and green.
The question was, name the 3 colours of the Adelaide Crows. Their score is 3-3. This tie-breaking question is for the win. What is the name of the establishment who employs me for Grassroots?
SAAFL.
Beautifully said, South Australian Amateur Football League. The score is 4-3. The winner of this section of our Olympic event was, of course, Luke, which makes it 2-2, boys. So you can fight each other for victory and for spoils. Thanks for being on the show. Any send-outs to anyone, to the wife or kids?
G'day, Mum.
G'day, Mum.
You know who's the favourite son.
The McDonald boys, 2 of the stars of Mitchell Park. Get on out to them and watch them in Div 7 finals. I'm sure they're going to have a big impact.
As we've seen, we've got a fantastic setup here at the Mitchell Park Football Club, and the man who's running it all off the field is sitting next to me right now. It's Ken Kelsall. Ken, thanks for joining us.
Thanks very much.
No worries. Now, 2012, Year of the Lion on the field so far. How's it going off field?
Off-field's been probably one of the better years. As everyone would know, we've had a couple of rough years, but last year we started to turn it around, and this year's been very positive. And with wins comes the spectators and everybody that wants to help and jump on board. And we're very fortunate with a really good group of sponsors. I've got a couple of major sponsors that have been with us for a long time, and a lot of other people that contribute to the club, and it's very much appreciated.
Now, we're in the back room at the moment because there are simply just too many people in the main bar at the moment. This place is a buzz on a Tuesday night.
Oh, it's huge. It's huge. It's a sports club, and you know, the football club is probably it's the strongest affiliate of the sports club, and yeah, we've got you know, juniors running around and 2 senior teams, and yeah, it's pretty full on.
Now, being obviously the president of the club, you can't do it all yourself. Who would you like to give a plug to? Those people that just work tirelessly, can't talk, around the club to help you out.
Look, there's a great band. We've got Corey's the senior groundsman. He's, you know, here at the Sparrows every Saturday setting up. We've got Pat that runs the canteen and coordinates with the junior volunteers. We've got a really good executive. With the Vice President Helen that you met earlier is also, you know, senior trainer and secretary. You know, we've got a couple of people that are on board that share the treasury role, and it's a very productive committee. And then we've got another group that produces a newsletter. You would have met a couple of the players, Razor, IT Wiz, that does that for us. And you know, if you get onto the Mitchell Park website, mitchellparkfc.com, and you'll see the sort of quality that the people that are put in the background. It's pretty amazing.
So the players are involved on the committee as well?
We have player reps and social reps as well. So yeah. Yeah,
and player interaction with the committee is really important.
Oh, it's essential.
Yeah,
absolutely essential.
Now.
I mean, it's yeah. That's what we're all here for, is to put the guys on the park.
Absolutely. Now, the last thing you mentioned before is that you have a good group of sponsors. Would you like to give them a yell lastly?
Certainly. Maid of Auckland is one of our major sponsors. Danny down there at the Maid. Go and see him. It's a great pub, great food. Geo Shelving has been around as a major sponsor for as long as I can remember. And yeah, so they're the 2 main sponsors, and they're both really good companies, and certainly support the club.
Well, Ken, as I said, it's been a fantastic night, fantastic club, fantastic oval, and as I said, you're just doing a great job on and off the field, and I don't probably think we need to really wish you much luck for the rest of the year, because I think you're going to go fairly well.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Thanks very much. It's a great club, and yeah, proud to be a part of it.
Our pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks for having a chat.
G'day, mate. So Saafl Grassroots footy, kind of a big thing in the amateur league, and just need you to make yourself scarce. Thanks, buddy.
Sorry, mate, never heard of you.
Well, tell your story walking, buddy. I want to have a chat to Daisy.
Yeah, no worries.
Oh, mate, I'll keep it slow just so you can keep up with me. But I'd like to introduce from the Mitchell Park Footy Club, Jared Dace. Welcome to the show.
G'day, mate. How are you?
Oh, mate, great to be here. I love it here, mate. I can't believe how many people you got here on a Tuesday night. Tell us, why do you play for the Mitchell Park Footy Club?
I only came down here this year with a few of my boys from Happy Valley, and straight away found there was a big friendly bunch of lads and do anything for you. So I think that's the best thing about the clubs, all the passion the boys have for each other.
And you want to talk about passion, mate? I'm going to talk you up a little bit, because one of the first things Coach Wayne Wild told me about was the contest you ran through, head over the ball, you damn near killed yourself, fractured your face, and a kid just walked straight through our shot. Well, let's keep going. Let's keep going. And Dan, can you not walk through there? Thanks, buddy. Kind of making some quality TV here, aren't we, Daisy? Anyway, as we say, so tell us about that incident. I mean, it'd probably be enough to make most people quit, but you're still here.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep fit. Hopefully I'll get a gig when finals comes around, but it looks like someone got the better of me out there, so...
I wouldn't go that far, mate. What's the actual diagnosis? Was it fractured face?
Yeah, the mandible, so I got a broken jaw. Cheers, whoever did that. And yeah, got a plate and some screws put in it. Still got a bit of swelling, but trying to keep fit while I'm recovering, and hopefully I'll be back towards the end of the year.
6 weeks till finals. The club's going 13-0 at the moment. I think they're probably a fair chance to play in finals. Do you think you'll be back?
I'm hoping so. Maybe maybe not.
Well, mate, Wayne Wild speaks highly of you, and you're a credit to yourself to put your head over the ball the way you did, and I wish you all the best of luck for the rest of the year.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Thanks.
Mark Schupan, I play centre forward in the A's.
Troy Podolzinski, play midfield in the A grade.
Craig Weekly, mostly back pocket in the reserves.
The best thing about the club would have to be some of the hairstyles out here, bloody atrocious. Oh, I said bloody.
Definitely the best thing about Mitchell Park Football Club is having a shower with Harrow after a game of football.
Yeah, the best thing about the club is the hairstyles, but mostly on Steely's back.
Have to be Daishi just because he's a male stripper.
True story?
Could be.
Oh.
Daishi because he's a self-proclaimed Adonis.
I reckon Reno. He was late to training because he was in the mirror that long because you guys were coming.
Probably have to be Steely because he's the only man I know that can plait his back.
So definitely have to be Brad Steele because they both go to the same salon to get waxed.
Yeah, it'd probably have to be Steely. He's the only one who can come out naked and still have a jacket on.
Well, readers, it's that time of the night again, and we just happen to be inside the gym. Yes, a few of you are probably saying, been a while between drinks for me inside the gym. I just keep my size naturally. Natural athlete. But I'm here with the coach of Mitchell Park, the most successful coach this year so far in Amateur League, Wayne Wild. Thanks for being on the show, mate.
Pleasure.
Nice. Now, well, what can we say about being 13-0? It's a great time to be a Lion at Mitchell Park.
Yes, it is, but next week's round 14, and that's what we're concentrating on.
Yep, the old 1 week at a time. It is easy to get ahead of yourself, and there are some very tough teams in Div 7. Obviously, you took care of Tea Tree Gully last week. What other teams are on the radar as real challenges?
North Pine's a pretty good side. I think they'll be around the mark. They've got some good runners, Anglevale obviously, and certainly Henley. You can never underestimate Henley, I think. You know, quality team and quality footy club, so
yeah,
they'll be there.
A lot of depth down at Henley as well, so a lot of ex-Division 1 A-grade footballers floating around in their C-grade certainly can test you.
Yeah, certainly, and I think the last time they were in Division 7 they won 4 flags, and their A's and B's are sitting right up there too, so they're mindful of them, definitely.
Yes, the Sharks are certainly swimming around dangerously. Now, look, let's talk about players from your club. Obviously, we've seen the great Luke and Nat, not Nate, great Luke and Nat debate tonight, so two real characters, and you know, people talk about Luke and Nat all the time. But some of the other key players from your club have had good years so far this year.
Mark Harrison. Mark Harrison's been a real revelation to us, great leader and a very hard little player, goes at it. Michael Maisie, who plays out on a wing, he's 21, very good player. He played reserves at South, so he's had a good grounding. He's a pretty special player as well. He'd be up there. Jared Daish, I think you caught up with earlier, but unfortunately he's in a bit of danger at the moment. But I think, you know, we don't rely too much on just sole people. We're a team, and we structure ourselves from back to front, you know, from our defence right through to our forwards, and that's what we're all about. You know, we run rotational midfield, give everybody an opportunity to play the way they want to play, and you know, we just drill them the best we possibly can. So we concentrate on the team focus more than the individual.
Yep. And look, I've got to more so than the team, the club, I've got to say, and I'm not just trying to blow smoke here, for a Tuesday night this is one of the most impressive setups I've seen. You said you'd be ready for us when we come, and clearly you are. It's a club that's beautifully managed. We already spoke to the boss. He told us some of the people behind the scenes, but who else helps you behind the scenes to make Mitchell Park so successful?
I think probably one of the really good things about this football club is Ken is very good with what he does with the committee of the footy club, and they look after the football side of the football club side of things, and they let me do footy. Yep. And that was the thing that was really on the table when I first came here. they don't interfere in my business and I don't interfere in theirs, but we do work together, and they let me run the footy department, and I think that's why the whole thing works really well.
Excellent.
You know, obviously Phil behind the bar, Phil Wyborn, he's fantastic with what he does. He's part of the social club structure, but we've been friends for a long time, and you know, everyone goes out of their way to do everything they can to make sure everything works properly. So they're probably the main keys.
No worries. Now, something I don't get to ask coaches each week, but I can actually ask you, because you're in a position now at 13-0 as the only undefeated A-grade team in amateur league. A lot of people subscribe to the notion that you have to have a loss at some point to the year. Do you have to have a loss, or do you envision you could go undefeated and go through the finals?
I've never been in that position with a senior team, so it's hard to answer it. I did coach a group of juniors some years ago at under 13 level, and they went through undefeated. No, I don't think you do have to lose a game. I think if you just focus week in, week out on what you do and treat each game as the challenge as it presents itself, and you get over the line, then you move on to the next week. For us losing a game, would that hurt us? No. Would it help us? No. I don't think there's an answer to that, to be honest.
Yep. No, I guess it's all individual perception the way you see it. I think, like you said, you can only win 1 week at a time. Just keep winning week after week. That's my opinion. And of course, I mean, at 13-0, I guess it goes without saying, but a premiership is on the radar. That obviously, that's the plan. That's the goal.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's, you know, something we put into place 2 years ago to work on getting the club firstly back up again, which I think we've done a pretty good job of so far. You all want to win premierships, but we know how hard they are to win. Yep. And there's 10 teams in the competition, and you know. Oh, look, I guess old cliche, we're not even thinking that far ahead. Yep. I mean, I guess we probably got the right to, but we're certainly not. Yep. I know how hard they are to win, so, you know, we'll just keep progressing, doing what we do, and, you know, hopefully at the end of it, yeah, that would be the end reward.
No worries. Look, we want to wish you, from Lisa and I and Grassroots, all the best for the year. Look, what you've done with the club is magnificent. You've turned the club around, and I can see this club really going places and moving up through the Division 6 and 5 and so forth. You should be very proud of your efforts so far this year.
Oh, thank you, yeah. Well, we are, and that's where we hope to go.
No worries, thanks for having us, mate.
Thanks, Morris.
Good luck.
Thanks, Lisa. Thank you.
Now, it's not all about quantity at the Mitchell Park Football Club, it's about quality, and boy did we get some quality marks tonight. Now, with me, I've got the 3 best marks of the evening, and see, I told you I'd forget names. Now, I've got Dregsy, Dr. Dregsy, I've got Lee, and I've got Steely. Well done, guys. Now, we're going to cheer for some beer. What do we all think of Dregsy's mark? Yeah! Straight over the top. Well done. What do we think of Lee's mark? Yeah! And what do we think of Steely's mark? Okay, well, I think it's a resounding result. Lee, well done, mate. A big thank you to everyone at the Mitchell Park Football Club. It's been an absolutely fantastic night. We'll see you at a club near you next week.
Welcome back, Brooders, and as usual, what a fantastic footy trip. I really like coming out to the lower grade clubs because they just really get into the night, and and of course they appreciate the exposure as well.
Oh, mate, everyone loves to come out, so yeah, it's good. We couldn't leave it alone, I'm sorry.
Let's do some milestones, shall we?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, last week, 200 games, and they celebrated in style, did Mark Smart from the Ingle Farm Football Club, who, as I said, ran out for his 200th game last week, and the Farmers did very well for him indeed.
They did.
Celebrations went on into the night, and apparently Wayne Knowles had his dancing moon boot on. Would have loved to have got some footage of that.
Has he broken his foot?
He had an ankle reconstruction.
Oh, get well, Wayne. He sent me a text on the weekend. Nice to hear from you, Wayne, and congratulations.
Yes. Anyway, let's move on to this week. Now, Brenton Bottroff plays his 300th game this Saturday in Plympton's B grade versus Elizabeth. Now, Bots is the B grade captain and has played in the 3 reserves premierships. I think it was 2008, 9 and 10, just from memory. And he's been at the club since a kid, and a great bloke to have around the club. So I did actually drop into Plympton very, very briefly on my way here tonight, hoping that he'd be there to give him a minute of fame. And Sean Ellison, the C grade coach, said it's a shame that he's not here because he would love to tell you how good he is. So sorry about that, Bots, but mate, all the best for this week.
Yeah, good luck, BW.
And finally, the Hope Valley Super C grade captain Josh Woodman, or we call him Yosh, Silent J. He plays his 200th game this week. He's a premiership captain, and he is also a fantastic bloke.
You might have to run that one by me again. What do you call him with a silent J?
Yosh.
Wouldn't it be Osh?
No.
Okay.
We call him Yosh.
Okay.
Well done, Yoshi.
Okay. I'm going to call you to say well done, Oshi, because the J's silent. It's never mind.
Not to be confused with the Super Mario character.
Okay.
He's
No worries.
Anyway.
Fair enough.
Have you got anything?
Not milestones. I've got some big games to talk about though.
Actually, sorry. Now, remember last week when you dropped me in the excrement, as you normally do, and we went out. No, you know, never. And we went out with the coach's corner with Pete from the Teacher Gully Football Club.
Oh, Pete Martin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew. Yeah.
Pete. Yes. No, you didn't know. Pete Martin, and thank you, Brody, for sending me that message around about 2 hours after we needed it. Thank you very, very much. So sorry to Pete, and I will swear I'll never forget his name again.
Who sent you the message?
Brody Thoughts.
Oh, you know his last name. That's good.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, sorry about that, Peter Martin. Mr. Martin, as some people call him. All right, Lisa, can we get on to some big games this week?
Let's do that.
All right, let's start with Division 1, because in Division 1, this round is probably the hardest round to tip for the year. Just quickly, I'll fly through the games. Give us your tip, Lisa, and I reckon we'll disagree on a few. Goodwood and Jeps. Jeps coming into a bit of form. It's at Goodwood Oval.
No, I'm going to now pick... They've won 4 in a row.
Goodwood?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll tip that will continue.
Yeah, I think Goodwood, because they have to win if they want to play finals.
Yes.
The interesting one, Foss and Sacred Heart. Sacred Heart have had the season from hell, and Foss haven't won in a long time.
I was just looking at round 1 and I'm thinking, what the hell are you talking about? Okay.
Round 14.
Foss and Sacred Heart. Look, bit of a danger for both, really, isn't it? Probably more so Foss, and because it's at camp, look, not many clubs can, well, Foss, the Skull Cave. So they're playing at the Skull Cave, so I'll just tip Foss.
Yep, I agree with that one. Gazer and Salisbury North now. It says Clemson Oval. Gazer have now officially moved to Green Acres.
Yes.
The place to be.
Yep, they've got
a lot of good people at Green Acres.
They've got Sapsaza. What have they got? Sapsaza on this weekend at Adelaide Airport Stadium. So.
Okay.
So they can't play there, but Gazer. No, well, actually no, a bit of a tough one.
Told you it was tough.
That is a tough one.
Gazer, of course, much improved form.
Yeah.
They're speaking to their new C-grade coach, Richo, down at our local supermarket. We are talking about how they're hoping that the Green Acres, the revolution, the move to Green Acres is going to help them. It's local, it's just down the road, so and obviously some improved form. They had a big chance against Henley.
Yeah, I don't know. Look,
Gazer.
Well, yeah, I don't know. If someone can stop Erskine if he's playing, then I might pick Gazer.
What's his first name?
Geordie.
Good.
Thank you.
Let's check. Give us a tip.
I might go Salisbury North, I think.
Fair enough. The Rucks, coming off their loss to Jets Cross, to head back home down at Campbelltown Oval against Broadview, who've been so close in recent weeks but haven't quite got the chocolates.
They'd be spewing, just quietly. And I'm almost tempted to pick Broadview.
Yeah, there's probably one factor, and you probably remember it from our show in round 4 or 5. Broadview have never been able to get a handle on Drew Lipster, and I think that could be a real problem.
The arch nemesis. So yes, in that case, I will pick Rocks then.
Yeah, I'll be taking Rocks as well. I'd suggest if you're listening, Phil Harrison, get Michael Stevens on down there. I reckon that could be probably the best move you could make.
And lastly,
at Cater Oval, it's St Peters and Henley. It's a battle of 1 versus 2. Again, Henley just got over Gazer, but Henley, why would you tip
everyone's
against
just got over everyone on the weekend, though. That's the thing. So
I don't think you can tip against Henley at this stage. St Peters, you could say they've gone off the boil a touch, but they're 10-3 sitting second. So that's the way I'd like to be off the boil. A lot of good teams sitting 10-3 at the moment. I'll take Henley.
Yeah, Henley going to be pretty hard to stop, but I think it'll be a close game.
I think so too.
Yep.
All right. Again, a lot of good forwards floating around that one. Now, next one, I'm going to shoot across to Division 3 because we talked about the logjam, I think, over the previous weeks of Division 3's ladder. I mean, you've got Salisbury sitting in 7th at 7 and 6. How unlucky would you be to have a greater win than loss ratio and be sitting in 7th with the percentage of above 50? So they haven't done too much wrong. In 6th, you've got Mitcham on 7 and 6. In 5th, you've got Athelston on 7 and 6. Obviously, Athelston and Mitcham slightly better percentage. Well, this week at Max Amber Reserve, it's Athelston and Mitcham. And I'll tell you what, only the strong will survive. Yeah, it's must win for both teams. They're running out of rounds, and Athelston obviously, well, they had a bit of a shocker last week, didn't they?
I wouldn't say it was they played a shocker as such.
Sorry, it probably came out wrong. They didn't play a shocker, but it was a shocker that they didn't get the chocolates when they were playing at home as well.
I think that we'll just say that there are a few frustrating factors in that game.
Yep.
And very disappointing very disappointed, sorry, I should say, were the Raggies not to pick that one. Not taking, obviously, anything away from Salisbury, though.
Yep.
Who are a fairly good outfit. So,
and obviously Mitcham coming off a bad loss at Paynham, the Fortress of Falconry, going down by 11. So it's a big one. I'll tell you what, anything could happen in this one. Who are you tipping?
I don't know, I like Athelston.
Yeah, I think Athelston.
They'll come back.
Probably got the best, the man who I've been told will win the medal. Obviously, I don't get to see all the games. I've seen some Div 3 games. Justin Sheedy.
Oh, Sheeds.
Playing great footy and one of the best clearance players in the league will probably, well, if I'm saying he's going to win the medal, he'll win the medal. It's just like I could tell you who's going to win the C4 medal, but we won't go there. On to Division 4, and there is also a game that is finals pivotal. It's the 5th place Pulteney at 6 and 7. It just goes to talk about what I was talking about with 7 wins, unlucky. And Hectorville, who finally had a win on the weekend, in 6th place on 6 and 7. They play each other. Very little percentage separating them at Dally Oval this week.
These two are just going to swap over and over and over until the end.
Change sides.
Yep. Oh well, no.
Change positions. Yes.
No,
you should have. I mean, everyone changes positions once in a while.
But it's just going to be sort of back and forth, and if one can just sneak that extra win in, then they might be lucky.
And it's somewhat of a unique phenomenon, yes, a unique phenomenon at least, that the 7th place Greenacres have only had 4 wins, but the 4th place Scotch have had 9 wins. So these two at 6 and 7 are right in the middle, and it's basically, that is probably the most exciting thing about Division 4, or the unknown quantity at this stage, is who's going to be in that 5th spot, and are they just making up the numbers?
Yeah, and well, yeah, that's it. I mean, obviously Hectorville's mid-season form hasn't been pretty crash hot, whereas Pulteney has actually just sort of been up and down and not really had any, what's the word I'm looking for?
Consistency?
Consistency, thank you very much.
You're going to karate chop me then. But they certainly, I'll tell you what they do have, and they have some stars in their team, and they're able to upset anyone on their day. Viney, Perry, so forth.
Yes, absolutely. So, you couldn't pick it. I mean, look, you'd probably just go home, like Hectorville. Hectorville, beautiful, isn't it? Actually, have you been to Hectorville? Is it still...
Not lately.
No? Okay.
I'm going to be picking Pulteney.
Okay.
I just think their best at this stage is better than Hectorville's. Hectorville at the start of the year were all the rage.
Yeah, you're probably right too.
Yeah, well, time will tell. We'll find out at 5:30 on a Saturday evening.
The last thing I would like to talk about before we head off for the night, and for those that aren't aware, and I'm sure that 95% of the people in the amateur league that play football own an iPhone. I'm not one of them. Sporting Pulse has actually just launched a new iPhone app, and this app actually replaces the My Sport scoreboard app and is available from the iTunes App Store now. So some of the features include your ladder, so you can actually pick the ladder for your division or for the teams that you follow for that matter. Your schedule, meaning that you can see who you're playing and when. Map and directions to the game, which would have been handy for me tonight because I sort of got lost coming here. And
I didn't.
Gives the stats for the last time you played. Very informative.
That is good.
So, yeah, get around it. Get onto iTunes. Sporting Pulse, iPhone app.
No, speaking of all things social, would that come into the social media bracket?
It would indeed.
Okay, well, let's give a lot of people probably sitting at home going, gee, I'd love to send TJ something. Some sort of venereal disease. But, yes, let's give him the Grassroots.
Think that time.
No, that's how we were off. At SAAFL.asn.au. Is there a slash there?
No.
I need a slash. I'll tell you what, it's been a great night at Mitchell Park. I've loved it here. I love it when we are well received by clubs. Thanks for your support, Wayne Wild and the boys.
Absolutely. And to Ken, and to the bar manager, and to everyone that's made us feel welcome here. Fantastic.
Do you know where Ken is from? He's from afar. Think about it. Think about it.
No, sorry.
I can't explain it to you right now. We'll leave it at that. Okay. Readers, this been real. We'll be back next week at a club near you. Do we know where it is?
I think it might be Unley.
It might be pending
Pending
council
their
lights fixing stuff.
That's it.
Otherwise, we could go to a club somewhere near my house. That'd be good too. Thanks, readers. We'll be back next week.
See you guys.
Hey mate, did you hear about that rumour about beer karma?
Beer karma?
You drink one of these and a Victorian cops one.
Oh, really?
They did claim to invent the footy.